Hi, I'm Jackie Hirsch, a therapist here at Worcester Youth and Family Counseling Services. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, what that is a motivational theory that looks at factors that motivate human behavior and kind of explains how and why we do things. So, this is a visual of what the hierarchy of needs is. It is 5 different levels of needs that break into 3 sections. Now, for these needs, as a hierarchy is, we got to start from the bottom and work our way up. So down at the bottom, we have these 2 which fall under our basic needs. That is going to be our physiological needs at the very, very bottom. And what do we mean by physiological needs? So kind of hard to see on here. Our physiological needs are going to be our biological requirements. It's going to be food, water, air, shelter, warmth, things that we need to survive. We cannot function without that. Above that is going to be safety. By safety, we're going to mean security. And as human nature, we like order, predictability, and control. We like to feel secure. This might be having a job, obtaining health insurance, having a safe environment to live in, as well as physical safety from violence. As we continue up our hierarchy, we're going to come to the psychological needs, and that starts with love and belongingness. What love and belongingness means is going to be our interpersonal relationships. It's about building friendships, intimate relationships, trust, feeling accepted. All of these factors are needed for us and are part of why we act and behave the way we do. Further up are our esteem needs. Now, esteem needs means, there we go, esteem for oneself as well as a desire for respect from others. So it's internal esteem as well as feeling that others are thinking of you in a positive light as well. Now, at the top of this is the blue section, which is part of the self-fulfillment needs. Now, that is self-actualization. So what that means, get it, it's a little stuck there, there we go, is a desire to become the most that one can. Now, that is a growth need. So while I didn't mark it on this image, one thing to think about is these needs kind of break up into 2 different categories as well as I broke them into 3 before. This top one is what I would call a growth need. It is something to help you grow as a person. The more you have that need met, the more you want to continue. So the more you feel that you are becoming a better person, acting in kind ways, the more we like to do that. These bottom 4 are deficiency needs. These become more motivational when we're feeling this is not being met. When we are, thinking physiological, when we're hungry, we look for food. Whereas if we're not hungry, we're not, well, sometimes we are looking for food, but not as a need, more as a want at that point. For safety, we try to avoid situations where we're feeling unsafe. Now, this gives us an idea of why, but at times this is flexible. We're not always going to work in this pattern where we go up the hierarchy. We jump around, as well as we might focus on, different ones at different times. We might focus on 2 at one point, all in one behavior. Or we might not be able to impact our safety that much, but we're still working on love and belonging. So it's not always a linear change. We're not always only going up one and up and down. Sometimes we skip. Additionally, some behavior that we have might actually be focused on 2 different motivations. Maybe we are having dinner with some friends. Now, while that is meeting our physiological needs of food, we're also working on that love and belongingness. Now, why I feel this is so important to talk about right now is with between COVID-19 and a lot of other violence and stressful events that we've seen, in 2020, a lot of people are feeling unsafe. They're feeling really concerned and really having a hard time feeling that their basic needs are met. So with that being said, sometimes it is harder to focus on these higher needs because we are feeling that our basic needs are not met. With that, we want to remind you to have a realistic expectation of yourself and take it easy on yourself. To take some time to reflect and self-care so that you are feeling as safe as you can, so that you can continue up this hierarchy. It's okay if some days are rough and you need just to relax or find some other way to healthy and cope. During difficult times when we're feeling that any of these needs are not being met, behavior shifts and we're going to do what we can to meet that need. Right now, a lot of us with safety, again using COVID as an example, we're using hand sanitizers, washing our hands. So while we're feeling our safety is still a concern, we are trying to meet that need by having these actions, washing our hands, wearing face masks. So our message today is focusing on our needs, moving up our hierarchy of needs, as well as just being aware and kind to ourselves if we're not moving through these as much as we would like to some days. Everyone moves at their own pace. Everyone's circumstances are different, and we will all get through all of these difficult times.